What year was it? Yeah, Kevin had mentioned that before the game. I just think it's a test to the kids. They're really buying in. They're really coming together. It's fun to see, and I think the last two games the fans have just really been awesome. So it's just all coming together, Dana. It's when kids buy into what you're telling them. They really like each other. You want to get good right away. You want to cut down nets right away, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, and you got to figure out how you want to build this thing. And we tried to do it with getting a lot of young guys, traditional high school guys, and mixing those guys with a few transfers or junior college guys. And we were really, really careful on the type of guys we wanted to bring in. And I think you see a whole bunch of good people coming together and just working really hard and playing for one another and playing for the city.
Is this tempo, Jerrod, probably the closest to what you eventually want to happen today, what you saw?
Well, tonight was really fast because, Link for years, man, his teams, even when he was a Division II head coach, they really pushed the ball. Their outlets are so deep. They run, they fly around, they shoot threes. We wanted to work inside out. We wanted to do kind of the opposite tonight and really go with Sally early and then Noe, and then we used Ola a little bit. Noe was awesome tonight. I thought Naz's passing and once again his leadership. It was so awesome to see Jerrod Covington. I think he was the first one in the gym this morning when I got here, and he was with a group of guys. So it wasn't just him, but putting in the extra work and then going to see him get 16 points in the first half. You just kind of smile as a head coach because the guys that work, they really deserve, what they get. And he's worked really, really hard. DQ, Darius is he is what he is, man. He's a tough, hard-nosed kid. Devin Morgan's been great. And really the guys on the bench, they don't get a lot of accolades. Atiba Taylor got in at the end of the game, and I think it was not both, but it was Jeff went to the floor, and he was the first one to go over there and pick them up. And that's what we're trying to build. You look at the little things as a coach, and things are working out really well right now. But at the end of the day, we've got a huge week next week, and I'm excited about getting ready to prepare for two really good teams.
Jerrod, I saw the point there where Donnell went down and you came right out.
Yeah, I thought he hit his head. I'm not a trainer, but you don't mess with head injuries anymore. And I thought he banged his head pretty good. And I saw Nas do that in the summer, and it really kind of scared me. So I wanted to make sure he was all right.
Sure, that 15 minutes or so, in that first half, is that like the best stretch of basketball you've seen out of this team this year?
Wright State was pretty good too, Brian. Remember we had 45 against Wright, and tonight we had 51. But the ball was moving. We were getting downhill. Multiple guys were touching the ball. We got a chance. We just got to keep getting better. Part of being young. Now people are gonna tell us how good we are, and we got the winning streak and all that, and we got to have a little swagger. Kids got to have swagger. They got to have confidence. But we got to get back to work on Monday. Because this could be a really special week in Youngstown for basketball. If we can handle our business this week, we got a chance now to play for seeding instead of just playing to get in the tournament. So every game this time of year gets bigger and bigger, and I think our toughness is getting better and better. Everybody's talking about the offense, but we held them to 77. Their average is 84. We've won the last 4 games because we're playing really good defense and we're taking care of the ball.
In the second half, when Jerrod kind of hit that insider to go up 62-38, they called a timeout. You kind of
yeah, I got a little fired up because our fans were so good tonight too. We want our guys to have emotion, but I think sometimes it's okay for the coach to have some emotion, and I think your kids feed off of that. So I was just really cheering for their effort, to be honest with you. And we wanted to get the fans up and reward our guys. I think these kids, these young guys, can really, rally about being the city's team, and the crowd we saw tonight, if we could just get all those people, Dana, just to call a friend and get their friends to come on Thursday, now we're talking 3 or 4. And then we do the same thing on Saturday. We're going to have this thing sold out by the end of the week.
Darius talked about not settling, not being stagnant with this 4-game win streak. How important is that with a young team to not settle with what you guys have done the last 2 weeks and keep building to that? He talks about wanting a home game in the conference tournament. How important?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, young people in this generation of people that we're coaching, there's so much out there on social media. You guys are all going to be tweeting. Dana's going to tweet. John's going to tweet. Brian's going to tweet. And they're going to look at you guys' tweets because they follow you guys too, and you follow them, and they're going to be on your news station tonight and your news station tonight, and they deserve that. But we're still not where we want to be as a group. So you've got to get excited about it. You've got to feel like you're having an impact on people. I think this time of year when you start winning, man, it gets really, really fun. And so I just hope that they still have that attention to detail, because I think our attention to detail and our leadership amongst our young team has been really, really good. So it's our job as coaches, and it's their job as well to make sure next week is another good week. But, all these games in this league are close. So, we just got to give it our best effort. And like you said, hopefully we can keep climbing the ladder in this league.
A couple of weeks ago, you went to Cleveland State, probably wasn't one of your best performances. Was that kind of, at this point, maybe the turning point?
Yeah, that was probably the lowest point, I think, of this season. That was tough to come back and lose that game. But no, I mean, sometimes it takes, you got to hit rock bottom before you can climb your way back up. And, our guys are really scraping and clawing every day at practice and putting in the extra work. And I think that's why they're getting rewarded. Tonight was just a phenomenal effort, and I have a lot of respect for that team. I think they're really good. I mean, we played really good basketball because that's a good team. I mean, they could win the conference championship. I mean, they're really good as far as the tournament.
When they went up 8-0, the way you won the game on Thursday, was it kind of...
Yeah, I called the timeout, Dana, after it was 6-0, I think, when I called it. We gave up 2 transition threes. We didn't find our man. And I think that team, it takes about 2 or 3 minutes for whatever reason to figure out how fast they're playing. You can show them on tape. You can do it at practice. But them guys fly. And we left them wide open. But I think it shows you our maturity, how much more mature we are as a group, because a young team could have maybe got down 12, 13-0, 14-0. And I kept hearing Devin, I kept hearing Nas, I kept hearing some of those other guys on the bench. Come on, guys, we got to get a stop. We got to get a stop. There was no panic. There was some growling and grumbling in the stands. I heard that a little bit. And as a paying customer, I'd get mad too. I don't want to see the ball go in the basket. But they stood together and survived that early run.
Coach, earlier on in the season, you said that the Horizon League should enjoy beating you guys where they can. Is that time up?
No, I don't think that. I think we got a lot of work to do, but I would venture to say if you study all the rosters in this league, we got a lot of good young players that aren't graduating, right? Freshmen, sophomores, juniors. We got a lot coming back the next couple years. So, as long as they keep improving, I think tonight was the first time they saw the crowd in the city of Youngstown and they went, oh, wow, this is fun. They haven't experienced a big crowd like that and the little kids on the court. And I think they had a little swagger as well. But no, I think we're going to be fine if we keep getting better.
Jerrod,
Trick question there. I like that question.
Where does Nas fit into this 4-game, his
Leadership, John. I mean, coaches don't win games, right? Like, we don't win the games. We do all the work and we do all the prep work, but we don't play the game. We can't talk on the court for them. We can't huddle the team up. So you got to have guys in your corner that can do those things. Nas does all that. Not when Nas does that, he affects people really, really good. I mean, his leadership qualities, as I told him the other day, are going to last him a lifetime. You know, if everybody could be a leader like him, when he's intentional and he knows what he's doing and he's impacting in a positive way, boy, it carries. And he's carried us the last 4 games. You know, it's just that process of going through as a young player. I gave him an article this week on Marcus Howard from Marquette. He scored 39 points today. He's, you know, top 5 player in college basketball. And I read the article and I brought him in and we went over the article. And you have to be intentional, you have to be direct, you have to be positive, you have to, you know, lead by example. He's totally done that the last 4 or 5 games. And I told him, if you continue to do this, you're going to have no regrets, and you're going to have a lot of fun because these guys will follow you. And he's really done a nice job and took it to heart.